What's up, everybody? Michael Silva here, going to do some analysis on Square, ticker symbol SQ. Now, Square is part of the NYSE, so I feel like it's very important to also, instead of just looking at the stock itself, we also have to see how the NYSE is currently performing as well and map out some key levels. This helps us get a better view of where Square might be headed next. So let's go ahead and hop right into it. All right, welcome back. We're going to first start off looking at the NYA. This is the NYSE Composite Index. I find this to be important. Like I said already previously, if the broader index itself starts correcting or continues a move forward, it could be a leading indicator for us as to where Square might go. Square has been relentlessly strong since its March bottom. It has been a very, very strong performer, and we'll get into those charts in a moment. But what I want to point out here, this is a monthly time frame, so obviously a bigger time frame. We're disconnected from the 5 EMA by 6.3%. That is a big disconnect coming into the end of the month. So that means next month, this will move up a little bit more. So that will probably shrink. And like I said, the month isn't over, so a lot can still happen. We're building this on a negative divergence, and this is a rising wedge pattern on the NYSE. If you actually scroll back even more throughout history, even to 1975, this trend line right here is a very strong trend line since dating back all the way till then. And then we're looking at 2007 top. We tapped here, tapped there, and now we have a little shooting star candle at the upper range of the Bollinger Band as well. So if the NYSE starts rolling over, it's safe to say that Square might follow suit as well. It's not always the case, but it's something to take note of. All right, really quick on the daily time frame for the NYSE, we're still above the 20-period moving average, but we started rolling over slightly. We have a gap above us and we have multiple gaps below us. Maybe if we start, a quick pull back into this range, for example, if the NYSE comes back down here, that might present a good opportunity for a bounce, which means Square, if that also pulls down and once you see the NYSE come into here, Square, you might be able to capture some upside move, a potential boom back to the upside, or it might be a dead cat bounce. So we'll see. We got to follow along with this, keep an eye on this chart. Let's get into Square itself. All right, Square on the monthly time frame. I mean, absolutely incredible chart so far. This is that big breakout area right here. So I measured with the fib level from the breakout zone to where we are right now, which we're basically at the high for the month, and the month is coming to an end. Very overbought on the RSI. That's okay. That happens in overtrending charts. This is, by the way, this is a linear chart, not a log chart, and the simple reason is just because just to see the power of this move. Now, where are the typical pullback areas? Well, you have a 38% retracement level and a 61. So this kind of zone right here, if the market were to correct, I'd be looking at these levels for potentially buying into for a specific bounce. Now, that's obviously a big distance away, right? From 243 down to 172. These are some big time corrections, but it's something to still take note of. Now, on the 38.2, what I also want you to take note of is it acted as resistance right here. Okay, and then we started breaking above it, and look where the 5 EMA is. So we have confluence of the 5 EMA, which is a frequently tagged and been acting as support, moving average, and then we have this pretty important fib level. So if you wanted to play a pullback, if we can even get to this level, I'd be keeping a very close eye on 190 as that longer term time frame pullback area. Let's zoom in a little bit to the weekly time frame. Look at this March bottom right here, below 40, and then this thing has just been on a relentless tear ever since. Just a big bull channel moving up. Some might be able to argue that, hey, it's a rising wedge, but just take note where the price action currently is, and then I'll talk about these two divergences. The current price action, it's above the upper Bollinger Band, which that's okay. It can stay extended for a long period of time, but you got to ask yourself, do I want to go long right here at this specific level when things are very overextended on one, a negative divergence on the RSI, and then two, on the Chaikin money flow? You can see that we're making new highs here with the price action, but we're not seeing the flows. So it's doing relatively weaker as we continue to move higher. So it's something to take note of. Both these go together very well. Both are negative divergences, so you need to be very careful here. The 20-period moving average is the middle of the Bollinger Band right here. That's right around 180. Actually, it's pretty much spot on. And the 20 period, it acted as resistance, and when we broke above it, we tested it back once. So that can also be a very good area to keep an eye on to track as time continues. Now, let's look at the daily time frame. The daily time frame, big strong day today. The day actually just came to an end, so this could be a little bit higher, could be a little bit lower. I started pulling these charts I think around 1230-ish, somewhere around there. So RSI overbought. The PPO, price percentage oscillator, it's trending up, so it looks very, very strong. Just take note, the price action, it's above the upper Bollinger Band. It can stay there for a long period of time, but sometimes when you get overextensions, you get pullbacks, as you can see right there. All right, so something to take note of. Then you have the 20 period, the 50, and the 200 all trending up. Very, very bullish context, very strong playing chart so far. However, once again, you got to ask yourself, is right now the time to buy in while it's at these specific levels, or should I wait for a pullback? I'll give you my opinion at the end of the video. Here we go, the 2-hour time frame. This is a pretty solid little launch pad that's set up right here, so I wanted to go ahead and mark this horizontal line out. We broke above and we haven't looked back since. So yeah, we just keep on pushing and pushing. 243, I would say, let's call it 243.50 would be a good breakout potential play. So if this wants to continue driving forward, be very careful on playing breakouts in these conditions, in overextended conditions, because you can get false breakouts. Now, if you were to wait for a pullback, I marked out 2 boxes, okay? Target 1, target 2. 1, this can pull back to the 20 period moving average. The 20 period moving average has acted as resistance and support, so we might be able to catch a little intraday bounce from that level. The other one, if it keeps continuing to fall, is right here. There's a lot of confluence, okay? We had the resistance. Once resistance is broken, it then becomes support. We have the 50 period, and on top of all of that, we have the lower Bollinger Band. So if we get a dramatic pullback into this 220 to 225 kind of range right here, you probably will see some sort of a bounce. Not guaranteed, but there's a high probability with all this, all these levels of confluence here. Now, keep in mind, the upper Bollinger Band might keep contracting. The 50 period might keep on moving up as long as the price action stays above in these areas. So this can change over time. Just note it's kind of a zone, kind of a range. All right, so that's basically all I have for the analysis on SQ Square Incorporated. My personal opinion, I would not be going long at this specific moment. I may look like, at a breakout trade, but I'd be playing intraday, very quick movements. Other than that, I'd be looking for pullbacks to play bounces. This thing has just been on a relentless tear, and I just don't feel comfortable buying at these specific overextended levels. So I'm looking for pullbacks. All right, everybody, that's all I got for you on today's Square analysis. See you later.